Welcome, everyone, to another episode of AIME's Grow and Get It. I'm Tom Ahles, President of Growth, and today it's an honor, it's a privilege. I get to sit not only with the President of Advocacy, but the owner of McKay Mortgage. For those of you, I don't know how you wouldn't know Brendan. You'd have to be living under a rock. Guy, between him and Katie that are going everywhere, working 100 miles an hour, he's one of those that really, in my opinion, besides being a great friend of mine, I respect him because he's not only, it's one thing to talk about doing things, it's another to put action behind it every day. And I really wanted to have Brendan as a guest today on Grow and Get It for two reasons. One, if you have never watched any of Brendan's videos from our Fuse conference, he did one. He normally does these at all of our conferences, but he went over on how his operational system works. Please go to your AMP account, view that. You'll see it there. I'll have one of our team members drop it in the link below. But to me, I can tell you, he's changed a lot of people's lives in the broker channel by making things organized, integrating Monday, doing that. Brendan, welcome to the show. Tell me how, organization and what you've set up that we want to drive some of our members to check out. How has that helped you grow?
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me on. So, I mean, the baseline with it, it doesn't have to be that complicated. And the concept behind it is having your process written down, which is sounds like a basic thing, but nobody does it. And why are you winging it every single loan? You're a professional, stop it. You know what I mean? Take half a day and just write your process down. Or like you said, go onto the AIME member portal and you can download mine. It's a Word document and you can start use it as a template and go from there. But the baseline logic behind it is just I can do more business by getting out and selling, and you can go from a B plus to an A salesperson and increase your business. But if you take your operations from a D, which in my opinion is where not just brokers, but most originators are, and take it to a B minus, you're going to see a much, much bigger increase in your business because of it. You're saving more time, but they're all referrals, right? You can have the best interest rate on earth, and the client can love you up front. But if you trip your way to closing, and the numbers change at closing the day before closing and all these different things, because you're unorganized, you're never going to get a referral from that person. So that's it.
I love it. And it's really, the cool part is this is one of those things to where not only do we get to talk about it today, but you can see the documents on how to execute on this in your own business. Now, we've done something a little similar with my company to where we look at this from an operational side, and it's our CARE initiative, right? We're trying to create a referable experience. Brendan saying, you get to the average industry standard is a D in service level from originators, right? If you're trying to improve on that, it's going to help you to yield more referrals, help you yield more closings, really, but lock down your process. So please check that out. It's one of the best things I can tell you. He's changed a lot of people's lives with that, and he really lays it out. He's part of why, both Brendan and I are even involved with AIME. I like to help people, right? So take advantage of it, use it, it's there. The other thing I wanted to touch base on, we know Brendan's been busy, right? He's running everything on our advocacy side. Katie and him are in DC consistently working on putting state captains together. Yet I talked to Brendan earlier this year and he said, you know what? I need to step on the gas a little too. We love doing all of the things that, that drive us, but at the same time, revenue also drives a lot of good things too, right? It drives a happy household. It creates a good, sustainable business. Brendan said, I'm stepping on the gas. Now, when this guy already coasts at 100 million a year, I'm looking forward to see what that is. But for somebody that maybe is aligned with that same mindset, right? Man, I just finished Q1. I was not where I wanted to be. I'm going to step on the gas. What are you doing to execute on that?
So the two main things that I'm doing are, one, I'm really starting to play around with ChatGPT, and I don't know exactly where it's going to take me. I think, but I look at that software, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm on the ground floor of using it or anything like that. But I don't feel like it's been adopted industry wide. It is a world-changing piece of technology. And oftentimes with that kind of stuff, there's two things that I think are different about ChatGPT that's relevant to the people listening to this. One, we don't usually have early access to that kind of software that's really going to change your world. It's usually incredibly cost prohibitive in the beginning and things like that. And that is not the case right now. It is either free or you can pay $20 a month for it. Furthermore, the type of technology that usually changes the world, at least that I can think of anecdotally, is more likely to impact blue collar industries. So just think of like scanning technology at the grocery store. This is by far, in my opinion, the biggest disruptor to white collar workplaces, which is true for us, right? So like, I expect it's going to change our world drastically. I'm starting with basic stuff like running all my templates through it, or coming up with different automations and things like that, or even like I've used it for like complicated emails, like explain, debt to income ratio and how it impacts different things and condo fees and things like that. You'll be blown away by what it spits back. So that's something I've leaned into heavily. I know you have at least experimented a little bit with it. So I know a lot of sharp brokers are using it for sure.
Can you tell me, for you, how are you getting your education on this? Because I've seen a couple of loan officers that are even hosting seminars or webinars for real estate agents and using that as a way to, exactly like you're saying, hey, there's something happening here. It's a disruptor. Let's figure it out. I've done a little bit of, going into the ChatGPT, putting in some questions, really at an elementary level, right? How are you getting better at this?
I'm honestly, I'm just playing with it, and I am starting to look for different webinars. I know Enrique's looking to do one. I'm bugging the AIME team, honestly, to put one together with some of our like, I know Russell Petty uses it a lot. I'd love to learn from him. So honestly, I'm open to it, but nothing right now.
Yeah, good. So same as me. That's how I tend to learn best anyways.
Yeah.
Throw me in. Let me keep trying. Let me watch what somebody else is doing. Really neat though. So outside of that, right, as far as growing your origination side of the business again, are you back to calling agents, setting appointments? What's been working?
No, never. I mean, a little bit of that, to be honest with you. The biggest thing that I'm going to lean into this year is VA financing, and really putting myself out there as an expert in VA financing and a top producer in it. Like, I'm not going to be shy about bragging when it comes down to it. I've been the #1 broker in Maryland for VA loans for the last bunch of years. And frankly, it's not the reason that I did it, but I've done a lot of veteran advocacy in getting that out there as well. I know that I did it for all the right reasons, but it doesn't mean that I can't market it. So I'm going to lean into that pretty heavily, and you're going to see, year-long marketing campaigns, largely through social media, newsletters. I'm going to start putting out educational videos on YouTube and leveraging a lot of the knowledge that's already embedded VA and things of that nature. Yep. And just leaning into that niche. I've never really previously identified myself as having a niche. No. And I think I was leaving some business on the table. And I don't think by putting yourself out there with a niche, you suddenly cut yourself out from all the other businesses out there. It's a foot in the door to do business with people you aren't already. All the other people that refer me are going to continue referring me for everything under the sun, right? But with a new realtor, what do you do that's special? Oh, my pricing's great, my process is great. Both are true, but that's what everybody says. Yeah. I do VA financing better than anyone else in the state of Maryland does. And I can prove it, right? Like I have the numbers to prove it. And that is not something that a lot of, especially retail loan officers, are putting themselves out there for, at least in my market. So that's what I'm looking to leverage this year.
Yeah, I love it. So leaning in to what your skill is and not being afraid to market yourself as really being the expert at it. And as you know, Brendan's a humble guy, right? It's like, it's probably hard for him to even think about like, okay, all right, he shares stuff all the time, but really you are a VA expert, right? You've served with me and vetted VA for quite some time. And we know you have to align with that mission or Chris kicks you out, right? So,
well, and that's something that's been hard for me is, and I'm still going to be humble, but like, I don't know, man, there's something to like, when you truly are the expert on something, say it. Like, there's nothing, doesn't make you egotistical or if you're saying, everything about everything, that's one thing. still very willing to admit there's a lot I don't know, but when it is something that you know inside and out, let the world know about it, man.
100%. Big difference between cocky and confident.
Yeah,
And
no doubt, no doubt.
confident. I think this was on either a sales meeting I just watched here recently, but it's really awesome. Brendan, I appreciate everything you do for our community, appreciate our friendship. Thank you for sharing, what you did today. I really think for a lot of our listeners, it's important, right? We're right into Q2 right now. Find something you're passionate about, lean into it, and believe in yourself that you are the expert, right? Because to me, when I watch a switch in people from trying to be successful to being successful, it's not, they don't question it. They already are. They just
Yeah.
need to share those wins. Share the fact that you've been, the cool part, even with, United Wholesale Mortgage, you can go in and search even ranks. Maybe you do
Yep.
USDA loans and you're the number one USDA. Like, it doesn't matter. You obviously know the product well enough. You know the guidelines enough. You know that the broker channel is the best place to serve the clients. It's one of the best ways to continue to build growth. Brendan, thank you again, brother. Appreciate everybody being here for this week's episodes of Grow and Get It. We're here every Monday at noon. You can catch us in the Brokers Are Better group, or if you'd like to check out some past episodes, go to our YouTube page at AIME National, and we'll look forward to continuing to grow and get it with you. Hope you all have an amazing week. Thank you again, Brendan.
Hell yeah. Thanks, buddy.